The Gilded Razor is a memoir about my life growing up in New York City in high school as a student at a Manhattan prep school. I moved to New York with my father after my parents divorced when I was 15, just around my 16th birthday. And moving from Portland to New York was less of a culture shock than you might think because I was already kind of a crazy kid. I was experimenting with drugs. I mostly dated older guys in a way that was totally inappropriate for somebody of that age. It was sort of the perfect storm for me, being kind of a precocious, narcissistic, self-destructive kid in this really, really fast-paced and kind of glitzy environment without a lot of supervision. You can imagine how things unfolded. I started experimenting with drugs when I was in my early teens, and for me in the beginning it was just kind of a way to blow off steam or feel kind of cool and edgy. And then as things progressed, I got more addicted to prescription drugs, especially Adderall and Ritalin, drugs like that, which I used because I cared about my academic performance and wanted to be really successful in school, and also just kind of wanted to have more hours in the day. So I'd stay up for days at a time, and it made me feel kind of superhuman. That was the biggest part of my experience with drugs was, these pills that I was able to get from a doctor, which made them feel sort of sanctioned somehow. That really ended up taking me down in a pretty dramatic way. It's a really scary thing to expose these really, really intimate parts of my personal history to readers. I knew that I wanted to write this book someday, I just didn't know when. And a few years ago, for the first time, I felt like I had enough distance from the material of my life, from this chapter of my life when I was kind of outrageous, self-destructive, thrill-seeking, totally out of control, that I wasn't impressed by it, I wasn't ashamed of it, I didn't feel like I had anything to prove. I just felt ready to tell the story. I felt ready to tell the story the right way.